Alrighty, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. How's it going, everybody? Combo here. Today we have 9 quick tips on how to counter the light build here in Season 7 of the Finals. However, I do highly anticipate these tips to stay relevant far into the future, unless Embark does something crazy to the light build. With that being said, I'm going to give 3 separate tips for every single build. Yes, that includes how to counter light while you're playing light, so we can ensure that no matter what build you're playing, you have something in your loadout that can help you counter those lights if you do find yourself struggling. So with that being said, I'm going to quit yapping in the intro. I'm going to try to be brief on this, and let's get right into it. Starting things out at number 1, we have weapons on the light that also counter the light. So starting out here, we have the sniper. Now this is going to take practice, however there's 2 things that really make the sniper special. Firstly, you got a one-shot headshot. Secondly, I always make the meme, the sniper can be used as a shotgun, so if a light pushes you and you happen to get a body shot, one quick melee is going to be enough. I show this off all the time on stream, super powerful, very good at countering lights. The next weapon we're going to talk about that might surprise you is going to be the 93R, and that's because this weapon, even if you hit no precision headshots, 2 bursts is going to be enough to kill a light. And let me tell you right now, I'm going to reprise my guide on the 93R very soon, even after the nerf. I mean, look at this range. The range on this thing is insane, and all you need is body shots. And even if you do not get that perfect second burst, I mean, once again, it's just the time to kill on lights with this thing is fantastic. Should you decide to land all headshots, or you're able to more likely, once again, just the combos never stop. So once again, very powerful. And I think the next one is going to shock absolutely nobody. We have the double barrel. I mean, need I say more? Walk up to the light, one-shot him with the double barrel. Let's say you have no aim, or maybe you're at a distance. Look at this. Once again, man, it's just, you fire it off, you kill the light. If the light's using dash, they're probably going to be aggressive. You can use the evasive dash of your own to kind of juke them out. And once again, as you can see, this thing requires no accuracy. So once again, those are your weapons on light that are going to counter other lights. You could also put the bow in this category if you would like to. However, I think the sniper's a little bit more consistent. Really, it comes down to your preference. Next up at number 2, we have thermal vision. So one of the most frustrating things to play against on the light is going to be invisibility and obviously smoke. However, if you yourself on light run thermal to counter other lights, this becomes a non-issue, because check this out right here. If you did not know this, thermal vision is the ultimate counter to invisibility, assuming there's a wall behind the target. Invis is kind of weird with thermal. If they are open, like out in the open, and it's just the background behind them, you can't actually see them. But 9 times out of 10, if I pop thermal, and let's say I make my teammate invisible here, as you can see, it makes absolutely no difference, and this is exactly what you will see if the enemy light is using invis. Same thing can be said here if they pop a smoke. Once again, if they're sitting in this, you will be able to see them, and you will be able to land those shots and get a very easy kill. This also helps you see lights from further distances. Let's say they're camping up high, pop the thermal, you'll be able to see them, probably catch them off guard, and this can lead to some very easy, incredibly one-sided kills because they don't think you can see them. So definitely, once again, thermal, very powerful option. And finally, at number 3, we have the glitch grenade. Now you might say, Combo, it's kind of tough to hit a light with glitch, and that is true, but assuming you do, this makes the fight against other lights so one-sided. And that's because, I don't think this is a secret, light is very dependent on its specialization and its gadgets to stay alive. So if you land one, just one of these, and it's really not that hard, this, once again, I can dash, I can do this, I can use gadgets. If I'm losing, I can hit him with the nullifier. Once again, man, the ability to land a glitch grenade on another light is such an invaluable skill, because if you can lead the fight like this, or maybe bait them into that glitch, once again, their chances of winning that fight, like if you lose it, it is truly a skill issue at that point, because once again, this makes it so one-sided in your favor. So glitch grenades, very, very powerful against lights, and a fantastic counter if you're struggling against them. Next up at number 4, we are on the medium, and we're going to talk about weapons that counter the light on this build as well. So starting things out, we have the repeater. I mean, once again, you have a 2-tap. I will say this thing is more difficult. This is going to work better than our next weapon, which is the pike, which, as you can see here, takes 3 body shots. However, with the pike, as you can see, you have a much better rate of fire. This might be a little easier, especially if you like to use iron sights. You could always put the iron sights on the pike. But overall, I would say the repeater is going to be better. Just understand that it is going to take a little bit more effort. The next one we have here is going to be the Cerberus. Once again, you don't really have to look at what you're doing. This thing is just a light destroyer, especially after the buff that allows this thing to get rid of gas and do all those things. So once again, if there's gas and there's a light near it, maybe they're trying to block you off, they're using gas grenades, things like that. Once again, Cerberus just does not care. You run right through, you do a bunch of damage, very powerful. I would maybe, just maybe recommend the CL40. However, if the light knows what they're doing and they get in your face and you start shooting your feet, as you can see here, there is a very good chance that you lose that duel. So CL40 can be very effective, but you definitely got to be careful of your positioning. However, as for weapons that counter light, those would be my picks. Of course, the revolver, if you land a headshot, is going to land them at no health, so that's another good option, but once again, is going to take some practice. Next up at number 5, we have the turret. And I know what you're thinking, combo, the turret is one of the worst specializations in the game, and that's true against medium and heavy. However, against light specifically, the turret is wonderful because it forces the light to make a decision, right? They can't take the damage, right? Because they only have 150 health unless they're getting healed. Taking any amount of damage as a light against something like a medium who is running a revolver, it's going to make a big difference. So I'll show you what I mean right here. This takes my time to kill from 3 body shots all the way down to 2. So once again, the turret will lock onto the light and he is gone. It is going to drastically change that. If a light is trying to steal a cash out and a turret sees them, they can't do it. A medium can do it, a heavy can do it, a light cannot. So basically, once a light sees a turret, they have 3 options. They can go invis, which forces invis. They can throw a glitch or a smoke, or they can destroy it and probably take some damage, allowing you to get 1 taps with the revolver, or just give away their position to the team, which is very bad for lights because once again, their job is to flank and get off angles. So once again, turret, very powerful against light, and if you're really struggling, something I would actually recommend for some newer players. Next up at number 6, we have the glitch trap. I think this one kind of goes without saying. You can have 2 down. The range on these is absolutely like absurd sometimes. And we're going back to kind of the same thing I said about the glitch grenade. Having the ability to shut down a light's abilities is going to make them a sitting duck. I mean, you are taking away their defensive aspects, their offensive aspects, and once again, if they're not moving around like dashing everywhere, going invis, this thing also completely counters invis as well, which is fantastic. This is a light's worst nightmare if you're really good at placing these things. So once again, man, you know, I don't really think I have to go too far into this. Glitch trap is absolutely fantastic, good for locking down points, good for cutting off choke points. So once again, definitely give this one a try if you're struggling against lights. Alrighty, next up at number 7, we are on the heavy. So let's talk about the weapons. The first one here, and I think the best, it's got to be the flamethrower. I mean, you barely have to aim. If the light takes damage for more than, I believe, a second, so we'll count it out here. So wait a sec, 1, as you can see here, if he takes damage any way past that, yeah, he is done. A quick melee can finish him off. So basically, if they run up to you, they're cooked, man. I mean, literally and figuratively, there is nothing they can do. Another fantastic option is going to be the Shack 50. Because you shoot those 2 bullets, as you can see here, your consistency against the lights is going to be fantastic. And the forgiveness on this weapon, yes, it has a small magazine, but once again, man, it's just, sometimes it's very hard to miss your shots, and it's just like, this thing, it does good damage, it's good at close range, it's actually not too hateful at even medium range, as you can see here, looking at that forgiveness, very powerful. And then of course, we also have the 50 Akimbo, which another one here, as you can see, 2 tap to the head. May seem difficult, not that tough. This thing can also contest lights at longer ranges, and even at those closer ranges, man, if you're hip firing, this thing really doesn't miss. Like, you would be surprised just how effective the 50 Akimbo are at countering lights. This is kind of the Pike of the heavy build, in my opinion. So once again, very powerful. And if you want to just pull off the shotgun or the sledgehammer not as much of a counter now that they got rid of the quick melee combos. As a 12-16 though, man, the damage on this thing is still nuts, especially when you combine it with something we're going to talk about next. Super strong. And moving right on to number 8, we have the Winch Claw. I think this shocks absolutely nobody. You can combine this with the weapons we just talked about, especially the SA-12-16. I mean, if you're hitting your shots like this, there is nothing they can do. If you are using an SA-12-16 with the Winch Claw and you hit it on a light, they're dead. Like, there's nothing they can do. Quite literally, if you land your shots you have taken the counterplay out of their hands, unless their teammates kill you. Like, they are literally just dead. The same thing can be said about the flamethrower, so once again, you pull them in, do a little bit of damage, hit a quick melee, or really just whatever you want to do. It's probably better just to go for the actual flaming itself, but if they're hurt, oh my god, I'm not even trying to kill the light, and I'm already taking him down like all the way. Once again, as you can see there, man, I'll show off the Winch Claw with the flamethrower one more time here. You pull him in, even if he tries to dash, I mean, there's just nothing he can do. He is literally done. Same thing can be said, although as I said, they did change the sledgehammer. There is a combo you can do to still do kind of what you used to in the past. So once again, what you'll do is you'll shoot this, pull this, one swing and a quick melee. That will allow you to do the old combo, but you are going to have to use the lock bolt to do that because they have 5 health. If you simply winch them, hit them with a light attack and then quick melee. So I'll show that here one more time. So we'll pull them in. We'll go light, quick melee. They have 5 health left. So once again, if you want to kill them, you're going to have to use your lock bolt. However, most of the time, if you pull a light to you with the winch, your team's going to be there and they are going to get cooked. So once again, Winch Claw, very powerful at killing lights. And finally, concluding things at number 9, we have the RPG. The RPG, since this game came out, has been the ultimate anti-light weapon. For those who don't know, back in the day, this actually used to one-shot lights. It doesn't do that anymore, but a super filthy combo with the newly buffed KS-23 is this right here. You shoot them, pull out the RPG. There's just, they're just done, man. It doesn't really matter the range. Of course, you do have quite a long range on the RPG. Some people like to lead with it, so once again, they'll turn a corner. They know a light's close. They'll just lead with the RPG, making their cleanup very easy. As a light player myself, a lot of the time, the counterplay to this doesn't really exist. And if you really hate lights, and yes, I have had this done to me before, if you take a pyro mine and you can get the jump on them, or the prediction, look at this right here. You can literally one-shot them. Like, the flames will kill them every single time from that. And I didn't even land my mine in like a very good place. So once again, man, RPG, since this game has come out, doesn't matter what weapon you're using, it's a good initiation tool, it's a good cleanup tool. You don't even have to aim down sights, you barely have to really aim at all, and you are going to kill that light. So once again, at number 9, we have the RPG. Anyways, everybody, I do hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to let me know in the comment section down below. I say this all the time, this game is so extensive that it's truly impossible for me to cover everything. So if I missed anything or you think there's anything that you would change, be sure to let me know in the comments. I'm always listening to your guys' feedback, and usually I learn something by the end of it. So please, let me know what you think. I try to make this video as simple and user-friendly as possible. I'm sure there's some really unique techs out there that make countering lights just absolutely insane. So once again, man, don't gatekeep that. Share it with the community. That's what I'm here for. All right, people, this has been Combo. Much love. Talk to you next time. Stay home, stay safe. And yeah, peace out, everybody. Later.